could
Yeah,
say
but
the
they-
Scrabble, there was several right here
But
in
they
front
only
of
have
us.
to do one though.
We're supposed to
And they're supposed to do
do the whole
today,
week,
Oh, you're
but,
coming the whole week?
but we may come at different times, like it's
Okay.
easier for me to come at this time, but I came at
Okay.
another time.
Okay.
So that they don't miss the same teacher every day,
Yeah.
right?
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think they're kind
Um,
of spread out.
and they only technically have to come the first 2 days, but you're welcome to come to all of them. You know, it's just whatever you wanna do, but we told them,
I'll probably be here since I saw a lot.
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah. You
yeah,
need to know all
yeah,
of it.
depending on what you do, you know, I don't want to waste anybody's time, but, today they definitely need to be here. Today, we're doing toolbars, all the fabulous toolbars, and it's kinda like tricky because it just looks like, oh, that's not a lot. You know, we can do that in 5 minutes. And then you start getting into toolbars and you're like, okay, when do they ever stop? They just keep going. If your board comes up like this, we had teachers like, I can't get this off, it won't go away. If you will add a page, normally that will fix it and you just click here and then, sorry, where'd it go? There it goes. You can delete that page if you don't want it on there at all, is what I usually do.
No,
If-
Daisy,
if
I'm
not-
sorry. I have had it where it just keeps adding that same first page.
Yes, so what I did on that, this little hand we're gonna talk about
Okay.
today, we'll go ahead and talk about it. This little hand will let you make things smaller, so you could like just move it, you know, off and then
Okay.
be okay with that, so. All right, we're gonna get started with toolbars. I'm in the desktop version, which means I came here to this one, and I'm opening it because the Android version, it would be covered in these toolbars, but there's not as many in the Android version. So, but this one's the best one to teach from because it has everything. So if you get back to your room and you don't see things like, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't see that little blue, red, and green man. You're probably either on the Android version or your board needs an update. So if you start to see things on here that you're like, I don't have that, then just let me know and we'll look and see if it was because Android or because you need an update. We've had fatal errors like crazy. Like I had 10 emails this morning across the system where they opened it up, they tried to open it, it says install, they click install, which it should not say that, by the way. It should just come up. It shouldn't say install. And then it's like fatal error, shuts you down, you can't even open it. If that happens and you need a board immediately, I would go to the Android side. But we do need to put a ticket in for those. What they'll do is remote in, they won't have to come. They'll uninstall it and then they'll reinstall it. But I am gonna talk to Blair because I've had to do that 3 times on this board. I've only been here 2 days.
So when I put the ticket in on mine, what do I say?
Just
on the
say
ticket?
fatal error on my, critical, and put critical because one of the days I said that and put high because I try not to be an over exaggerator, and they waited 24 hours and I was so mad. Like you don't know how mad I was. So put critical and
Okay.
fatal.
That's
fatal.
weird, cause sometimes I put medium and they come like
I know.
in 2 hours and I'm like,
It's because it was
it's
me.
not that bad.
It's 'cause it was me.
They're like, okay.
I mean, I usually put low for everything, especially if it's something of mine, because I'm like, I need them to
Yeah.
picture. But
I
this was
usually
like,
put low, but
this was like a teacher that was actively teaching, and now they can't open anything. And if you put fatal error on your whiteboard, they'll know exactly what it is because it's been a suit. So, you know, but they can. It doesn't take them long if they would just do it, you know. All right, so we're gonna start. There's 2 toolbars with the whiteboard, and then there's these 2 little like extras. I'm not sure why they didn't put them on the toolbar. This little mountain. So we're gonna start with the mountain, maybe. This is where, like in-house, so we talked about setting defaults, but this is where you can change it like for a slide presentation or for individual slides. So, you know, let's say you want this slide presentation to have a purple background. You can, oh, I didn't know it would do that. That's weird. Wow, who knew? I was thinking that was gonna make it more opaque, which it did, but it made it like where you see the back. This next one, these are those that we saw under backgrounds to start with. And there's not a ton here, but there are, you know, a few. And if you're getting a little excited about about this, you'll like the other ones better, cause it's actual, that little paper with the little, I don't know what's that called.
Dots.
Yeah. But this would be, like, if you picked one of these, it asks you, do you want it just for this page, or do you want it for all the pages in this presentation? So you could just, I just want it on this page. Oh, that's weird that it made it. Usually it doesn't. Oh, it's because I was zoomed out. So when it normally comes in, it'll come in like that. But all of these, it's kind of weird. All of these have like 6 or 9. Basically, it's like an image that's been zoomed in. So some teachers may even want it where it's, you know, all of these or just 2. So I'm gonna try to delete that. No, it's the wrong kind of stuff. Maybe not. Anyway, we'll come back over it. It'll change. So that was this Polaroid looking one, and there's a few. There's not a ton here, but there's a few. This next one is probably the best one. So it has the My with the little apps on the screen, and this one is called My Originals. Yesterday we talked about originals where there were, I think we did, activities where there's like a video and backgrounds, and these are basically all the backgrounds that were in those. You can search by content area, so we could do ink. I didn't mean to do that. It's very sensitive when you don't want it to be, and then when you want it to be, it's like. So I don't know how to do arts and humanities. Let's look at. I'm gonna do organizer first. So organizer is just kind of a free for all. It's graphic organizers basically, and it has tons just based on different content areas. There's calendars. There are, I don't know why I still have 2019. There's lots of like themed backgrounds for different seasons. There's, the science is amazing. I think a science person did this. I mean, and up to high school level. Fact and opinion. I don't know why that's in there. Okay, that will be the one I would actually want to get. Teaching middle school. There's trainer models. There's, these may be a little too much. KWL. Who was in my mind? I'm trying to find the ones that I think they're down here. These are good. I don't know if y'all get to this, probably not kindergarten, but it's like the characters, the setting, the starting, the end. There's little games, like, you kind of make it probably goes with an activity, but there's things you could do even with these. There's color by sight word, and then there's language you can make your own.
I was gonna ask if it's editable.
So no, these are just like a background.
Gotcha.
So they're like an image. So I'm just gonna pick this one so we can kind of see what it looks like. And this again, I really need to fix that. I want it to be big. I don't want it to be 15 copies of this. I messed up when I told it to that's pretty close. So, you know, this is just one example where you could, you know, you could fill stuff in and then you could have them fill stuff in. You can push these out to student devices. So I know pre-K probably couldn't handle that, but like possibly at kindergarten, if you push this slide out to every kid, do they have touch screen or is it just? Some, you know, it could be a station, I guess, if they're doing something where you're wanting them to drag and drop or whatever. So that's just, there's tons of backgrounds, and you can also look by content area. You don't have to just do graphic organizers. There's math, there's science, there's sports. The reading and writing is pretty terrible. It's like Chinese. I can't really. Well, I mean, it's calendars, and then, they changed it. They must have heard me talking about it. I swear for the first.
Is it like a cell phone?
It obviously does, because for the first 2 weeks, none of this was on there. It was Chinese, handwriting, and it had like the Chinese symbol, and I bet they realized, this isn't the United States version. They heard me. It's much better today. Good or bad choices. I think Adeline needs that one. You can pull that one up. at home. Bless you all at Lee County Primary. Miss there's some Chinese, but it was the whole thing was Chinese. They fixed it. I'm so excited. So, what else? I still wouldn't call this reading and writing, but fact and opinion. Yeah, they moved. I think they just moved some stuff around. Here's where these are. I really like these.
Love it.
So you could pull this up and they could come to the board. I know at pre-K, I'm not sure how high your boards are. I know at,
They can reach about the bottom third really well. After that, it's according how tall they are.
let's see if what this does. How low it is. Oh, it's on there. So, they might could reach. But what I was gonna say, a lot of the kindergarten teachers, and I think even first grade teachers here, had daddies and husbands and stuff build like a little wooden platform, and I really wish we had gotten, they sell a stand that will move, so like you could like take it all the way down almost to the floor, and I really wish I thought we were looking into that. I really wish we had gotten that for primary and pre-K and some of our sped classrooms, because like even our kids like in wheelchairs, they really can only get.
Michael's having a time with the wheelchair thing.
Well, and SPED is looking at purchasing them at least, cause it's a different money, so I think SPED is looking into getting them for them, because like even at middle school, we have a lot of kids that in wheelchairs, and they literally can only, they can't even get to the actual board part, it's really just this bar, so, but I do like this one, I'm glad they fixed it. I talked so bad about them for 3 weeks. They do listen. Even
So, this is a crazy question, but that was just on there, so you can just go up there and do the letters, you don't have
Yes.
to mash anything down?
Yes, so
Oh, you
now-
do? Okay, you just fix it.
Don't judge. So,
Remember who you're speaking to.
I know mine's a bit shaky.
That looks pretty professional.
Well, I'm
Compared to our
I'm like,
kids.
oh, that's not on the line.
It's okay.
I'm a perfect. That's a bad problem.
Be yourself.
That's bad. So you can look, the science ones are awesome, and even like younger, like, the 5 senses. Oh, wait, I don't wanna waste all this time. Phases of the moon, space. So even if you're not teaching like phases of the moon, you can still use this background if you teach about space or stars or anything like that. So there's some really good ones, and you can get lost in here just
How do
looking
you-
at everything, but I was impressed by this. High school, like, they don't ever have this level stuff. Mitosis and meiosis.
So if you found one that you liked and you didn't wanna go through there every time, you just kinda save it to
You could, so you could like take this one and apply it, and then if you save this presentation, then
Yeah.
it would
okay.
be there.
So how do you set, like, let's say you wanted to use the calendar, how would you save that so every day you could open it up?
I would, so we'll talk about this probably tomorrow, but I'll go and show you this little folder right
Mhm.
here. You would just do this save
Okay.
as,
Gotcha.
and then you can, you pick if you wanna do your drive or your,
Okay.
desktop, and then you could just pull that one back up, So, alright, so let's hurry, cause I was taking too much time. So that was the originals, or like the graphic organizers. This one, this red arrow is, you can upload your own, so if you have some Google Slides or something or a picture that you have that you want for the background, you can upload it here, and then when you click on the little hard drive looking thing, anything you've uploaded would be there. So if you have your own. You can also do a graph paper, which I don't know that any of you would wanna do, but I do like this. Some of the 3rd grade teachers said they like, you can zoom in, and then like for addition, like they can keep each thing in a box, so I do like that idea. Thinking beyond just graphing things. And to turn it stays on unless you come back here and like disengage it. And then there's a confidential, I don't know why in the world you would want that, honestly. Then there's calendar, they need to be able to move that one. This calendar just shows you, like it has my date and time here, but if I click on that, then it takes it off. So my default is to have it up there, but you can always, take it off anytime. So let's keep going, cause I feel like I wasted too much time on that. The next one over, these three little blue, red, and green guys, this is called Participate. So this will allow you to divide the board up into, well, not 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6. 3 seems to be the magic number for this size kid, or 2. So it basically gives each kid their own little place, and they can have their own color, and then they can write at the same time. So, they have their own eraser, so it's not messing up anybody else's. They can trash theirs, and it only trashes theirs. You cannot import things in here. It's really just giving them a little section of the board with their own little colors. You can do, this is 3. You can do 2 if that's too many kids up at the board, or if they, they can't reach all up here, so 2 might be better just so they have more room. There's 4, which you all would not use, unless I guess the teacher puts something here and then the kid maybe. And 6, I know y'all wouldn't use, so that's that. That's called Participate. All right, so now let's get to the fun. This one is your floating toolbar. You can put it anywhere you would like. If it gets in your way and you're writing, you can just, move it out of the way. It comes in editing mode, and so editing mode just has all of this up here at the top. Present mode, you would click this little green chalkboard, and now it's in present mode. So basically all it did was take away all this. You still have all your tools in present mode. It's just cleaning that up. And then to get back into prepare mode, you click back on the tools. This is your clipboard, so if you copy something, then it will go here to the clipboard, and then to paste it, you would click the clipboard and it would paste it. And you can paste things on the same slide, 10 slides over, every single slide, whatever you want to do. It stays on the clipboard until you copy something else. These are the forward and back arrows. To add a new page, so we have 4 pages right now, and we're on page 2 of 4. We can click the plus sign, and now we are on page 3 of 5. It added a page right where I was. If I click, this tells me what page I'm currently on, and if I click that, I get to see all of my pages. And if I want to delete a page, you just click on the little red X, and it makes sure. If you wanted to duplicate a page, you click on this one, and now it added 2. If you have at least 4 pages, it gives you this little array thing. And now you can pick multiple things to delete. You can hopefully move things. Some days it's not nice to me. It's supposed to be drag and drop, and some days I just have trouble. It is today. Oh, it went. Sometimes it has issues, but you're supposed to be able to drag and drop. So that's this floating toolbar. I think I did all of this. Yes. Now the fun toolbar, and I need to probably get to a blank sheet. So this toolbar can move too. You have to grab all of them by these directional arrows. Come on. Let me get off there. Why me? There we go. It can only move to this left side, the right side. I don't know if you see that popping up over there, or the bottom. So depending on if you're a teacher that stays to one side, or you're a teacher, you know how you teach best. I like it on the bottom, but I can see with little bitty kids, you may not want it there because that takes away some of their room. But I'm all over the place, so I would need it on the bottom, probably, just my teaching. All right, so we're gonna do the pen. Remember yesterday we talked about with the pen, this pen side would take you to the pen in colors, but to get to the tools, you would use your finger or the white side. So when you first click the pen, it gives you just these 3 basic colors. You're welcome to just, come on, get one and go. It's 20 touch, so technically 20 things could be writing at the same time. I don't know if you want more than 3 up there at a time. So let me take that off because we'll trash it. So then if you hit the pen again, now you have all these colors. You could add additional colors, make your own color, make this pen thick or thinner. And this is where I was talking about, if you start to see where you're always having to change that pen width, you can go back into your settings and either lower it or up it a little bit. You can change the color to be more opaque. Do you see how it's like more pastel? This was the pen. The paintbrush, I like the paintbrush. I feel like it makes my, well, not thick though. I feel like it makes my handwriting look better. I think, and that's probably too thin to really see what I'm talking about, but I think it's because it does this kind of in and out. It just makes it look better than just the regular old pen. The men were like, what are you talking about? They were like, I don't see any difference. But I feel the difference. So, the next one over is highlighter. These are the ones that pop up, like, I guess they're the most popular. They're not my favorite three, but the highlighter, you can change the thickness. So if you were trying to highlight something thick, or if you're wanting to just bring attention to something smaller, what goes, I was wondering how. This is the smallest it goes. And, oh geez, my shoulder grazed the board. And I like how, see, you know when you really highlight how it does, this kind of like blends it so it doesn't look a hot mess. The next one is called the laser pen. And it's like a highlighter, but it's like a temporary highlighter. So if you wanted to, if you had work here and you were like, okay, we're gonna read this together, and then when you were ready to move to the next thing, if you just click off of it, it goes away. So it's, I really like that. I like it probably better than the highlighter. But you know, you could box in the answer and say, did everybody get this or whatever, and then you click away. When you click away, it does leave a mark. I don't know if you see that. So I would click like away, because they'll be like, is that the number one? You know, and especially if you make the thing thicker, it's bigger, so you'll get in the habit of just trying to, like, unless you're doing another one right away, kind of clicking off. So that's the laser pen. Now the favorite of them all, this is the, oh, I'm not signed in. Look at there. So, I do have my phone. We'll do the app probably tomorrow, but when you come in the morning, you'll see right here, if your avatar is not there, then you are not signed in. And you can either hit this G, so you don't put your email address and password here. You hit the G to sign in with Google, or you can download the app, and the app does more than just sign you in. And you can just scan that QR code with your app, and then it signs you in, so you're not having to, if you're at your desktop getting ready for the morning, I would just go ahead and sign in with Google. But like if you get started and forget, then it's a lot quicker to sign in.
So what is the app on the phone?
It's called My Companion app. I think I sent it yesterday. There were two little things that I wanted you all to check on your computer. It's optional, but it does help in some things. All right, so let's go back. The AI pen is awesome. I taught science and math, but when I taught science, I had to draw all these pictures of frogs and butterflies and plant parts and all this lovely stuff. And so I'm a horrible drawer. So this would have been amazing. So you start drawing, and over here it's trying to guess what I'm drawing.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Oh, it didn't figure it out today. Oh, there it is. He thought I was drawing spaghetti. I don't believe that for a minute. And underwear.
bananas.
And it didn't do that last week. It did that because people were asking, does it ever show anything inappropriate? And I'm like, I haven't seen anything other than the bananas. And now there's 3 bananas in underwear. So, whatever.
It's listening to you.
It really
It's
is.
listening.
If I double click on this, then it brings out that boat,
And that's cute.
Oh, wow. I love this.
which I really love because I really am a horrible drawer. And then, oh, I don't want to steal the fun. Let me make sure I'm signed in here.
We could do that and share it. And then we would all have the.
Okay, I am signed in. Let me show you this part. You're gonna love this too. So you have this boat, but let's say you want a picture of a real boat. If you hold this down, come on, it will open your onboard. Now I knew it was gonna do that. It will open your onboard browser. And I thought I was signed in, but I'm not. There it goes. It just made it not as impressive. Thanks.
Oh, it was,
I don't, does that matter?
No.
Okay, you know.
I don't know when I did that, I guess. We'll see. It didn't care. Now I think it does for the password.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably time for my password to change. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so then when you click on it, it brings up real pictures. So let me go back so you can just see. If I hold this down, then it opens up that onboard browser, and now I can just get a real picture of the
That is
boat.
awesome.
No.
So
I don't know how to get to it, but-
sorry, it's the AI
Scroll down to
pen.
your-
So you click on the pen, and then it's this
Go
one
down
that
to that little square thing?
the
Okay.
pen.
Oh, the-
Yeah, the pen, sometimes it's that one, sometimes it's
Yeah, whatever your last one is,
Okay.
it will stay that
It
way.
was the pen originally.
But then it's this AI for artificial intelligence pen. And you can change the color of those, like it doesn't have to be blue. There's lots of things it can do. The next one, I think, did we tell you about the Spanish
Writing with
teacher
the
right
birds.
first? So this is the shape pen. So here's where you can do it as a stamp, or you can do it just if you want to write. And if you make this large, I do like this, then these will be bigger. So like,
We could do 10 times.
these, oh good. So, you know, for math, that's really cool. You can also, I'll show you in a minute how to do infinite copy. So you could just put one, and then you can have it where you just drag from that one. So there's like a million of them, or how many ever infinite number of them. And then you could have like a little basket or something where they drag that many to it. But that would be, I like that idea. I like, especially if we can get things you like in there, or if you're learning about fish, you could have fish, or if you're, you know, you could change it depending on what you're learning about. And then the magic line pen. My second grade teachers didn't like the magic line pen. I was like, you know, I just knew that they would. This is just change. Well, I made it opaque. Hold on. That makes it like more transparent. It can be this thick, so I think it'd be kind of cool. Like it looks like
Cool.
reveal something. But then also it can be really thin. So to me, like if you were trying to, kind of like a highlighter, like if you were trying to bring attention to something, you could, or have kids like circle all the 2s or circle all the lowercase a's, or, you know, whatever. I think that might be fun. All right, so that's all the pens, I think, yes. The next thing we need is the eraser. So we've got all this. So eraser, there's 3 options. There's this regular old eraser where you have to like erase. Then there's the lasso, which I think a lot of the teachers like the lasso. You circle whatever you want to erase, and you have to go all the way around, and then it just erases everything in that circle. So like if you, that's helpful if you're not trying to get rid of everything, but just like a certain section, especially if it's a larger section. You have trash can, it'll do everything. And then if you may have already figured this out, if you do the palm of your hand, you can erase, or your fist, but you have to be kind of, come on, there it goes. Your fist works too. So, and with the palm of your hand and fist, you don't have to touch eraser. So you could be over here just, you know, writing and then erase. So you're not having to like go down there and touch the eraser. So that's eraser. The next thing is shapes. There's 2-dimensional shapes, and then there's 3-dimensional shapes, which I don't know that. Come on, be my friend today. Of course not. This happened one other time, and I'm not sure what I did wrong that time either. We'll come back to shapes. But you can do tables, just straight lines, you know, 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional shapes. I really wish I knew what was wrong. It did this one more other time. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Then the text box, we did talk about that. See if that's gonna work. It's like we lost function other than the pen. That's still working. All right, we'll do some of these and then come back because I don't want to waste too much time. Let me erase. I'm gonna erase just that. It's not even doing that. What happened? We lost it. Let me go back to AI pen. I'm just trying to get another picture so I can show you this next thing. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this select tool. It's the teal arrow. You can either circle it, it's not, I might have to X out and come back in. Come on, we'll try again. It did that, it's not supposed to do that either. Fatal error.
Fatal error.
I'll go to the Android side.
Is there a way to convert,
Are you kidding me?
That's what mine keeps
That's
saying.
what mine says.
Twice. Fatal error.
That's what mine says, there it is.
But it's like twice it happened yesterday and twice it's happened now today, and it's only 9 o'clock. Let me do this really fast and then I'll let y'all go and we'll pick back up with toolbars. The select tool. Oh, it's doing that thing that y'all are like, it's doing that thing.
is there a way to convert handwriting to text?
Yes, yes. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, I'm not signed in. Let me see. Real fast. And then we'll do. Oh my gosh, it's been a pain. We'll pick back up tomorrow, 'cause I think it is time to go. But there is handwriting to text. If you click, it's like it's just lost its mind. There was. If you click on that little T, maybe it's because it's the Android, it turns into like a little like handwritten A, and then when you write, there'll be another little handwritten A to a typed A over here, and then you click that, and then it changes it to, and it does in cursive. It's very forgiving. We had a science teacher write like this long 9th grade science word in cursive, and it got every letter, and she wrote it messy on purpose to see, and but yeah, I'll fix our fatal error again, and we'll try again tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm gonna call Blair and be like, "Teacher, come over here. What's going on?" Thank you. I'm
Daisy.
sorry. We'll pick back up. You can't. The handouts do have